There are very few mistakes that you can make in running an affiliate program that are absolutely devastating. Today, I'm going to share one that I recently witnessed and how they could have avoided it. Welcome to the Affiliate Guy podcast. If you want to grow your income, serve your tribe, and enjoy all the benefits of affiliate marketing and having your own affiliates, you're in the right place. Thanks for joining me today. Now let's get started. So as you might imagine, I'm a member of a lot of affiliate programs, and there are a lot of companies that we promote. There's a lot that, admittedly, I'm an affiliate, but we don't really promote them. I'm an affiliate to be able to see how they're managing their program. I try to do this with programs in different niches and different types of affiliate programs, like retail products versus digital products. I try to do it for some where maybe they're evergreen versus launches and things like that. And just to be able to get exposure to different affiliate programs. Part of why I do that is not only to occasionally steal a really good idea, but also to see what bugs me as an affiliate. What do I see in these affiliate programs that absolutely drives me insane? And then I seek to fix those things. I seek to avoid those problems in the first place, and I seek to improve upon them. I'll give you one example. We do live leaderboards for a lot of the launches that we run. This is a page that is consistently updated that has a live leaderboard. Where did the idea for that come from? It came from the fact that I was an affiliate and I was going nuts. Like, some of the leaderboards wouldn't be updated for 48 hours. And this is 48 hours in the middle of like a 7-day open cart, not 48 hours when it's, a week and a half, 2 weeks before the cart opens and you whatever, not a big deal, right? But this was driving me insane. And I said, you know what? I got to fix this. Like, we do a pretty good job. We update it twice a day. But imagine how I feel if it's not updated for 48 hours, how somebody's feeling if it's not updated for 12 hours. I'm like, I'm going to fix that. I'm going to create a live leaderboard. And we did that, and it was a big innovation. And there's tons of other things that we've done as a result of that. Well, one of the things I'm always doing is watching what these affiliate programs are doing. And I got an email recently I'm going to read to you. And I'm going to strip some personally identifying information out of this email. I'm not trying to call this company out. If you recognize who this is not me saying this is a terrible company and they're, the person who sent this is a terrible person. That's not what it is. I'm saying, you know what? They made a mistake, and I want to share what they could do now, like that's part of it, but also what could they have done to not put themselves in this situation? What could they have done instead? They put themselves in a bad situation. Well, what could they have done to react to that situation? And so I'm going to read this email to you, stripping out as much as I can. I want it to still make sense, but not give anything away. The subject line was affiliate program changes. Now, right off the bat, when have I ever gotten an email that innocuous of a subject line and there been good news in the email? It hasn't happened. Now, I appreciate the fact that the first 5 words in this email are, I've got some tough news. This is a concept we call bluff, bottom line up front. Got that from the military. Don't give me the frickin' backstory. Drives me insane when somebody comes up and they have clearly something to say and they go, well, hey, Matt, you remember how like a few years ago, blah, 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 and like, well, so, and then this happened and then we yada, yada. Like, oh my gosh, I'm not following you. Can you share with me the bottom line up front, please? And maybe that makes me a jerk. Like, that is the right way to communicate. Now, I can go, I might not need the backstory. If you come up to me and like you're on our team and you say, hey, Matt, blah, blah, and then, okay, so really what we need to do is spend $50 to fix that. I didn't need the backstory. Hey, Matt, this happened and it takes $50 to fix it. Okay. I don't need I don't need to know the backstory. I really don't. Oh, you're just going to pay $50 and fix it? Yeah. Okay, cool. Problem solved. We're done. And, there's somebody, I won't say who, but there's somebody in my life. It's like, for him to tell the story, it's the most comical thing. It's like, the gist of the story is, I went to the ice cream place and spilled the ice cream on my shirt. And to get to that, it's like, so, I was driving down, was it Coldwater Road or Lima Road? Which one goes eastbound? Which one's westbound? Well, they both go north-south. Oh, okay. So, I think it was Coldwater. I was at the intersection of Sunshine. To the right of me was this green car. I'm like, what does this have to do with you tripping over the curb once you got to the ice cream place and spilling ice cream on your shirt? So I appreciate that. Bottom line up front, I've got some tough news. That's a lesson here that we'll talk about when you got to break bad news to your affiliates. Got some tough news. We're ending the current version of our affiliate program and transitioning to a new model. We'll be switching to a model that pays $75 upfront for every new account, but no ongoing commissions. Under the old model, if you referred a customer paying $29 a month, you would receive $8.70 per month, which would take almost 9 months to reach $75. On the new model, you'll earn the $75 right away, but not have the ongoing commissions. Now, this is the problem. I liked the fact that I was making a lot of money ongoing for the people that I had referred, and that was the agreement that we had. But I'm going to continue with this email. This will allow creators who are actively promoting to earn more money upfront. Webinars, launches, etc. are especially good for this model, but help us avoid the ongoing obligation that is out of our control. Don't really understand that. Ongoing obligation to fulfill the contract that we agreed upon? Starting in March, we are tapering off the affiliate commissions on referrals more than 2 years old. That taper will play out over a 6-month period from March to August this year. By September of this year, we will no longer be paying any recurring commissions on our old model. Affiliates will still be able to start generating commissions using our new $75 bonus structure starting in May. A little bit confusing there. Not sure, I had to kind of like follow, wait, is it this? So I would appreciate some more clarity there, and we'll talk about that, okay? Making this change to the affiliate program is the last thing we want to do, and I spent a lot of time trying to figure out another path, but I couldn't find one. Let me explain. All right, I'm going to break down this email a little bit later, but the issue here is they had an agreement with their affiliates, and they are effectively lowering the commission because I have referred roughly, doing some quick math, 1,200 people. I actively promote this to the tune of we make more money every 2 to 3 months than we do. So I'll make more money, would have made more money in April than I made in January. So we're clearly referring some people to them. And assuming that there's a little bit of attrition, some of those people are dropping off, I might only refer 6 people to them January through March, and we might lose 2. So a net of 4. But I am consistently sending them more customers. And part of that is the way that they were paying. Part of that is because every time we get a payment from them, it reminds me, oh yeah, and we go out and promote them actively. He said, let me explain. We're in a competitive market, and the growth for this company has slowed at a time when we were spending more and more to attract and retain team members, pay for server and email infrastructure, and invest in building out the product. The affiliate program is our biggest marketing expense by a substantial margin. It's probably also the biggest source of all of your customers. More specifically, the vast majority of affiliate payouts are going out to affiliates who are no longer actively promoting ConvertKit. Many stopped years ago. We'll talk about that. We'll address that. The result of this is that we've run just barely above break even for the last year. We're up against competitors who have deep pockets from VC funding. We're putting as much money as possible into building the best platform we can for creators. But doing it as an independent company is very challenging, especially with this long-term liability. Liability? Not a good use of that word there. We created from our affiliate deals. I know a lot of people will be pissed, and I think it's totally fair if you are too, but I looked through all the options and couldn't find any other way to get growth on track and give us the resources to serve creators long-term. If you want to talk through this, I'm here along with so-and-so, our director of marketing, and such, our affiliate manager. We'd love to keep working with you if you're interested. Thanks for listening. Now, I'm not picking on them, but things changed. The market changed. Their margins changed. I get that. But in my opinion, they never should have been in this position. They needed to do a better job on the front end of how to determine commissions. And so one of the things I want to point you to is a video that I did. It's a free video. It's on our YouTube channel, how to determine the right affiliate commission structure. All right. And I'll link to that in the show notes. It's super easy. You want to be competitive. And that's the thing. They were kind of the new kid on the block. They wanted to be competitive. I got that. But you got to leave room too. I feel like they could have probably have gone a little bit lower on their commissions on a recurring thing, $29 a month. I feel like they could have gone $750, roughly. I think it would have technically, if they paid 25%, it would have been like $742 or whatever. I'm not sure the exact math on that. Now that would have, you say, oh, wow, the whole $1.30 a month, Matt, whoopity-doo. But that $1.30 a month would have been accruing and accruing and accruing and accruing for months and months before they ever hit this problem. They would have had bigger reserves. And even now, I don't imagine that this problem is a 50% problem. I imagine this problem is a very small problem that got out of hand. So a year ago when their margins started thinning, they would have had, I don't know, $1 million more in the bank. That's probably pretty handy if they'd spent it correctly. B, they would have had less of that quote unquote liability to pay. So you want to be competitive, you want to be enticing, but you got to leave room for things like this. And so I was texting back and forth with a friend of mine and he said, I can't see them escaping this without a class action lawsuit. Now, I'm pretty sure if they have their terms and conditions set right, that they have the ability to change them. But the reality is they did promise that we're going to pay commissions for the life of this contract, and they're not. Their affiliates have stood by them through price increases. He said they went through a rebrand, and it was a disaster, and then they switched back. So I'm probably giving away who it is. It is what it is, right? He said there's been a decline in customer service quality. And essentially what they're saying here is, we're not happy with the amount of money we made, so we're taking the money we promised you and we're not giving it to you. That's the problem that I have with this. That is the problem I have with this. Now, what could they have done instead? Like, they're in this position. They're in this position. It is what it is. What do they do now? What do they do now? So if they hadn't have made the right commissions up front, which would have been a little bit less, about $1.25 less per deal per month, I think that probably would have made a massive difference. And I think that would have solved the problem in and of itself. But let's say that it didn't. Let's say that, let's just go with what they were at. They were paying $870 and they needed to get it down. Number one, I would have had them, this is the very first thing I would have done, is said, let's add a manual step. Let's require them to recommit to the affiliate program, to continue to receive payments. And we'll talk about the rest, but immediately, some of those people earning $25 a month who don't even notice would have just gone out the window. Like, hey, we just want to reconfirm. Like, you could switch payment systems. There's a solution. Switch payment systems. In order to continue to receive your commissions, you got to re-sign up for the new payment system. I guarantee you 5 to 8% of the commissions, like, out the window immediately. Problem solved. $870 a month times 5 to 8% every single month. Gone. That solves the short-term problem immediately. Even if it's only 4%, 5%, something like that. That problem is probably solved, at least in the short term. This is their choice. Like, lower commissions, close your affiliate program, okay, but they are dishonoring a deal. As my friend said this, dishonoring a deal you made is not cool. And so we can't do that. So the reality is they did find themselves in this situation. They didn't do what we suggest and create a better commission structure. No one expects them to go bankrupt. We're not expecting, just keep dealing with this. Like, who cares? So what should they have done instead? Well, I said, number one, immediately have their affiliates basically kind of re-sign up for the program essentially, but not. Just say, hey, we're switching payment systems. You need to re-sign up. I guarantee you 4 to 5% of the commissions right out the window. I think it'd probably be 8%. Secondly, honor the deals that were already made for active partners, okay? Be willing to make less on current partners in order to keep them happy and promoting. That $870, I get it. You got to hire people. You got to do all this stuff. You're not making nothing. They're making something. And these affiliates are their lifeblood. So here's what you do. You send out an email outlining the problem, basically saying what it said, but in a little bit more detail, and state that if you continue to promote and bring on new customers, we're going to honor the deal that we made on past referrals, but we're changing it for new referrals. If they want to change it if starting March 1st, or I would suggest a little bit later, we'll talk about that. But starting in the future, if they want to say, starting with referrals coming in on June 1st, we're paying this new structure, fine. I don't like it. I don't like it at all, but fine. Or maybe they could have then switched to the model that I suggested before and said, The new model is if you refer 1 to 10 customers a month, then you earn $7 per referral. If you refer, whatever, like 10 to 25, you earn $7.25, so on and so forth, right? And what they're paying is based on the number that they refer in that given month. Okay, so how this works is if you refer 0, you earn $5. So you can't tell me that liability from $5 to $870 doesn't dramatically alter things. So we're going to pay you lifetime, again, starting on this future date. But if you refer 0 customers in the month of August and you have 10 customers currently paying, $29 a month, you refer 0 customers, you're going to get $5 a sale. You refer 1 to 10, you can even make it like 1 to 5, you're going to get $7 or whatever, or $6.50. I don't know what the number, you can figure out the math that works. Okay, you refer 100 people this month, you're going to earn $870. You're going to earn $870 if you refer 100 people. Well, they're referring a crap ton of people. Who cares if you're only making $1.50 a sale right now? Because they are sending you so many people who will buy other stuff, who will upgrade, who will come to the event if you have an event. All these people that they're referring, who some of them will become affiliates themselves. So say, we're changing it for new referrals, but we're going to honor all the past ones. This will build incredible loyalty and respect. This is a reason why we and our clients don't continue to pay on old sales if they're inactive. It's in the agreement. You must remain an active affiliate to continue to get paid on old sales. And you could put it in the new agreement. Like if you don't make a sale for a year, you no longer get paid on anything from the 13th month. In other words, if you refer somebody in January and you don't make another sale through January of next year, in February of next year, you're not making anything on those people from January. That's fine. That's a perfectly legit way to do it. A year is a pretty good thing. And all you have to do is we don't actively promote them a ton. They're just up on our toolbox page, mattmcwilliams.com/toolbox. They're up there and we make 1 or 2 sales a month. And then periodically we'll do a big push for them. And we might make 10, 20, 50 sales and that much. And then it goes right back down to 2, 3 a month. Occasionally we'll sign up every now and again. I'm like, oh, wow, we signed up 7 people last month. I have no idea how, but we did. Sometimes it's that we promote this company on the back end of one of our other offers and we promoted that offer and we got 50 people to sign up for that and 5 of them signed up for this thing, and then we had our regular 2, roughly. So number 1, filter out the people who aren't actively promoting. But honor these old contracts. Honor those. And then build in a new structure that's a little bit better than this one. Because this is a dramatic change and it sucks. This new version sucks compared to the old one. And you can't go from one extreme to the other just to address problems that aren't my fault as an affiliate. The third thing is you got to give them at least 3 months, preferably 6. Lots of heads up. Don't wait until the last second. They only gave a 1 month's notice. That is not cool. Give them some time. Hey, we're going to be making this change. We sent this out basically in February or maybe late January. We're going to be making this change beginning in April or preferably May or June. Give them some time. Not only are we going to honor our current agreement, we're going to change it a little bit, but it doesn't start until June. Okay, cool. I can deal with that. 4th, give yourself a lot of margin on new partners so you never have to do this again. Okay, with this new program, we're going to honor our commitment to our previous, our current partners, but for everyone signing up, they're just under the new one. And you could start that today. So you say, we can't deal with those margins. Okay, that's fine. The new ones who are signing up today, who are only going to account for 0.1% of your sales this month, but next month they'll account for 2% of your sales, and the following month they'll account for 5%, and then eventually the old people are going to be flipping over to the new one, at least on new sales. It's a process, right? Don't wait till you hit crisis mode. It's it drives me nuts when I hear about companies. They have 100 employees and they lay off 42 people. Really? You laid off 42 people in one day. You couldn't have laid off 10 people 3 months ago and maybe have not gotten to this point? Lay off 10 or 12 people 3 months ago, maybe 5 last month. This drives me nuts. How bad are you at planning and forecasting and understanding how finances work? Be better at those things. If you're running an affiliate program, just be better at those things. So give yourself the margins. And this is essentially going to create two commission structures. You got the old partners and the new. That's fine. You probably already have a bunch of commission structures for big partners, medium partners, little partners, et cetera, anyway. Fifth, you got to communicate the change early, often. Get on the phone. Go live in a Facebook group for your partners. Send multiple emails. Send text to your top ones. Whatever you need. Reach out in advance before you send the blast communication. Reach out to your top affiliates personally. Get on a phone with them. This is one of the things that drove me nuts about this one. I got one email about it. What if I didn't open that email? In fact, I didn't. It was forwarded to me. I got the email. I found it later, but it just got, affiliate program changes, whatever. I deleted it or my assistant deleted it. But there should have been multiple follow-ups to that. One of the things you need to do in preparation for this is invite a group of trusted affiliates to share their thoughts, share their ideas, just talk through it, right? You might learn something that would work better than what you were thinking, or maybe learn how to communicate it to the masses, working with a group of 5 or 6 people in kind of like a mastermind setting. And so as you're doing this communication, though, I want you to follow the basics of communicating bad news to your affiliates. I've shared this in a bunch of other places, but let me just run through kind of the 7 things you need to do. If you're going to communicate bad news to your affiliates, you want to apply these 7 things. And these apply whether it's this thing, really, really bad news, or maybe there's something wrong. Like, hey, our server's down and we don't know when it's going to be back up. It's not like it went down for 2 minutes. The network's having issues. This product is no longer available and we said it was going to be. And, we really planned, the supply chain got messed up and we didn't forecast it very well. And, we got sued, whatever the FTC's after us, whatever it might be. If you've got bad news, this is how you communicate that bad news to your affiliates. Very first thing is you just be direct and avoid mixed messages. All right. So first, be direct and avoid mixed messages. Be thoughtful and caring. All right. We're breaking bad news to people, but don't sugarcoat things. All right. That makes it more difficult for people to digest it on their own terms. So just be direct. And I will give this email credit. Came out right out and said, I've got some tough news. We're ending our current model, transitioning to a new model. Kind of got right to the point. Okay, I appreciate that. Second, explain how the decision was made. Explain how the decision was made. Study after study shows that people are more willing to accept an unfavorable outcome if they believe that the decision-making process was actually thought through, if it was sound. There's a term for this. I remember learning this in psychology class called procedural fairness. So you might want to say to your affiliates, for example, here's the process that we followed. Here's the people that we spoke with and where things came out. This is why I go back to what I just said. Invite a group of trusted partners and say, here are the things that we talked about. And we met with these partners. Maybe you don't need to list them by name, but we met with some of our top partners and we brainstormed and we masterminded and here's what we arrived at. Now, I do appreciate that they walk through, they break down the numbers and they outline the problem, but walk through the process a little bit more. Explain how that decision was made. Express empathy. That's number 3. And they didn't do a terrible job of this, but I feel like there could have been more empathy. The affiliate who's getting the bad news, you got to understand how they're going to feel and how they are likely to think about the message that you're delivering to them, all right? So try to anticipate their emotions. And again, not a bad job. He says in the email, I know a lot of you are going to be pissed and it's totally fair if you are. So I appreciate that. But maybe express a little bit more empathy and understanding about the ways that you can help them to get past the bad news into thinking of solutions and next steps together. So that's what I'm talking about when he says, if you want to talk through this, no, we'd love to talk through this with you. We've made ourselves available. Click here to schedule a call with us. Or even just as simple as hey, let's talk about how you can take advantage of this. This is going to benefit those of you who are actively promoting. And also, by the way, we've introduced some tiered prizes and things that you can win if you make a certain number of sales. I get it. If this is the decision they made, while I disagree with it, what are some of the things that maybe make up for it? I don't know what those are. we've added prizes. Okay, well, that doesn't really solve a financial problem if it's truly a financial problem. But hey, we've improved conversions by 3.2% over the past year. I'm making myself available more to affiliates to do podcast episodes, so you can actively promote more. We're doing custom landing pages for all affiliates, something like that. So yeah, like there's some bad news, but there's some upside too, right? Fourth, you got to own the situation. Everything is your fault. Do not pass the blame. You don't need to explain the why and all that. Just own it. So in this particular situation, it's like, I kind of feel like they're blaming competitors, I'm quoting, competitors who have deep pockets from VC funding, liability that we created from our affiliate deals. That's not really owning it. Like, just own the situation. Like, hey, we screwed up. I love when people do that. I'm like, immediately, you've got my attention. I'm on board with whatever it is. Like, do not pass the blame. Everything is your fault. So if the server goes down, don't blame your host. Blame yourselves for not having some redundancy built in. Be quite honest. Yeah, we're on the cloud. But, when our site goes down, we just own it. Like, somehow we messed up. We didn't have enough redundancy built in. The site's down. We're working on it. Bada boom, bada bing, right? Which is number 5. Reassure them that you're working on a solution. So if you have a problem with the site, tell them you're working on it. You don't need to have the solution. A lot of people are like, well, we don't want to communicate until we have the solution. What if that's 3 days from now? So this doesn't really apply to this particular side of things, but maybe it could. Like, if you needed to communicate that we're lowering commissions and doing all this stuff, okay, what are you doing to make up for that? Hey, we don't know yet all the other stuff that we're going to do, but we're going to make it up to you. Somehow, we're going to do our best to make it up to you. We've got some ideas. We're meeting with our top partners, and we're going to come back to you with some ideas. Okay, great. That leads to number 6, which is promise to follow up. So going back to the case of, like the server's down, I will immediately reach out to affiliates. The server's down. We are so sorry. I will let you know as soon as things are resolved. I will let you know. And then 7th is follow up, like actually do the follow-up. So in the case of a server going down, and this is, the longest that our site has been down in the past 3 years since we switched hosts to a company called Agathon. Highly recommend them, by the way. mattmcwilliams.com/Agathon. Links in the show notes. As soon as we switched to them, we haven't really had this. We've been down, the longest we've been down in the last 3 years is like 12, 13 minutes. So it's not really even, by the time I alert our affiliates, it's probably already back up. Like the time I craft the message and click send, the website's already back up. Heck, by the time we even know about it, it's probably already back up. But I have been in situations, just using this as an example, where our website was down for 36 hours. We were bleeding literally $3,000-$4,000 an hour in sales. That sucks. And we knew it. So what I did was, as soon as I knew, it was like 30 minutes in, I emailed all of our affiliates. We didn't have Facebook groups or anything back then. This is back in 2009, 10. But I emailed everybody, hey, this is what's happening. We have an error that we don't even know what it is yet. Our website is down. We're on it. We're working on a solution. I will let you know as soon as things are resolved. I went ahead within about 2 hours and sent another message just saying, hey, just wanted to give you an update. I won't send you hourly updates the whole time, but there was an expectation that we'd be back up by now, and I want to let you know we're not. We're working on it. Again, I'll let you know as soon as things are resolved. I think about 4 hours later, about hour 6 or so, I then said, hey, I've put up a status page if you want to take a look at it. We put up a status page on another server, and it basically said, the status page kind of gave updates, like here's where we're at. Click the link below to go to our homepage. If that homepage is working, it means we're good to go, all that stuff. And then I sent an email out at about the 24-hour mark and just said, sorry, still no updates. And then I did send an email at about, from the time we figured out the problem until it was fixed, was only about 90 minutes. And I sent an email out saying, guys, I've been told by our team that we should be up in 2 to 3 hours. And then, about 90 minutes later, we were up. So I followed up. I did what I said I would do. I let them know as soon as things are resolved, as soon as we know more. So again, you can avoid this situation with better front-end planning. So go check out that video on how to determine your commissions. Then, follow this. If you've got to communicate some bad news, which you will at some point. I don't know what it's going to be, but there's going to be some bad news. And then big thing is just honor your deals. Honor your commitments to your affiliates. And they are the lifeblood of your company, more than likely. Come up with some creative ways. Take an extra week or so to think about it. Get together with some of your top partners and just be honest with them. If you really are in a pickle, what's the worst that can come from that? They go, oh, I didn't know you were in such bad financial shape. I quit promoting you. Well, they're going to anyway if you screw them over like this. So communicate with them. Ask them for their input. They're smart people. They'll give you some good input. So I hope this helps somebody avoid this situation. I recorded this not to be like beat them up, but to help somebody. Now, next week, speaking of helping people, I've got a pretty special topic near and dear to my heart. Next episode is all about the surprising thing that might be holding your business back. You probably haven't thought of this thing as something that was holding your business back, but I see it holding so many people back. And it absolutely just rips me apart. It is just, it's near and dear to my heart. And it's important. And it has implications just way beyond business. So I hope you come back for that one. It's going to be a powerful episode, surprising thing that might be holding you back in your business. So make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss that episode. It's too important. If you know somebody who could benefit from this episode, share this episode with them. All right, share this episode with them. And I'll see you in the next episode. I'm so excited about it. It's so important. I'll see you then.
Thank you so much for listening today. Remember to check out all of our deep dives into affiliate marketing at theaffiliateguy.tv. And if you have a question, ask it at asktheaffiliateguy.com. Who knows? Maybe you even be featured on an upcoming episode. And lastly, if you haven't yet, make sure to leave a rating and review wherever you're listening to this episode. See you soon.